needs any help, kind of just shakes his head and, you know, just disappears. It feels very out of place because this is like portion, like this is the only part where you actually see like a lot of independence out of him. And because there's a lack of like insight into what he's actually thinking, it almost feels like he's like planning something like this. But I can't really place my hand on what exactly it is.
I just had a theory about that. Go ahead, Justine has a theory about it. Go.
I think the metrics.
Fair past the entrance gate without stopping for a minute and pointing inside. Perhaps it was he who drove Hazen Gatsby east that night of the accident. Perhaps he had made the story about it all his own.
I didn't want to hear it, and I avoided him when I got off.
What was the purpose of Gatsby's house, which to me was obviously Daisy, so was failure just referring to the fact that he wasn't able to kind of have Daisy, or was it tapping into something larger?
I mean, I think that it's kind of referencing the overall failure in Gatsby's life. I mean, he had created this persona for himself, and in the end, he wasn't really able to fully live up to it. I mean, the whole book, we're kind of talking about how, or I guess Fitzgerald makes this comparisons to, is it Tremallow? What's it, the Roman guy's name? Tremallow?
Tremallow.
I don't know how to say it.
That's okay.
But like, it's like comparing Gatsby to this Roman who is like vulgar and throws these lavish parties but has zero class. And it's like, I kind of saw it as all his goals for his life and to become like the person he always dreamed of becoming. Like, it never quite happened.
Who does he want to be? In a larger sense.
Kind of like someone in Daisy's circle. Like,
Yeah, he wants to be from old money. You
Can't create that.
can't create that anew. And so I think maybe part of what's going on here is this critique of, we know that Fitzgerald himself wished he could be part of that circle. You know, when as a young man he went to Princeton and he met all of these guys who were from old East Coast wealth, he just couldn't quite crack the code to break into that, because you can't in a sense, right? And I think that, you know, if you think about who suffers in this book, it's Gatsby, it's Myrtle Wilson, and Tom and Daisy just kind of sail along, right? And so I think that's maybe Fitzgerald critiquing how social.
Like, it's almost as if the future is getting birthed from like Gatsby's death, and like, you know how we've always said that Gatsby was kind of like a deity, and how he's kind of like interrupting the flow of things, and now that he's dead, the future is getting born again, and like things could continue on. Like, that's just how I read it.
Pandered. What does pandered mean?
Like to appeal to someone, like to tell them what they want to hear.
To tell them what they want to hear, and it comes from the etymology of the word comes from panderus, who is a pimp. And so it's telling somebody what they want to hear in an unsavory way. It's appealing, not necessarily to somebody's highest self. So that's that weird thing that he's tapped into. One phrase I want to point out: face to face for the last time in history was something commensurate to his capacity for hunger. So this idea that when the sailors first